In the land of the north, where the wind blows cold, there's the blood of a Viking in the young and the old. Out on distant shores, making echoes in time. We'll be here forever. We never die. Hey, ho.
This windswept island off the coast of Northumberland is home to one of Britain's most famous monastic sites, and let's be honest, one of its most dramatic histories too.
Lindisfarne is the birthplace of Christianity in Northumbria and the site of the first Viking raid in England.
In 635 AD, Northumbria was a wild and dangerous place, with warring kingdoms, pagan tribes, and a king, Oswald, who wanted to unite it all under Christianity.
Oswald had been exiled to Iona, which is an island just off the coast of Scotland, and whilst he was there, he converted to Christianity. When he returned to Northumbria as its king, he wanted to spread his newfound faith across his kingdom, and his solution was to bring in a monk from Iona to establish a monastery here on Lindisfarne.
And that monk was St. Aidan, who chose this remote island for his base. From here, he and his followers set about to convert the local Anglo-Saxon population to Christianity.
Lindisfarne quickly became established as a centre for learning and art, with the monks creating masterpieces like the Lindisfarne Gospels, which were made around 715 AD and are an incredible blend of Anglo-Saxon, Celtic and Christian styles. And then came June 793 AD. The monks of Lindisfarne were going about their daily routine when on the horizon, sails appeared. At first, the monks probably didn't think anything of it at all. They were coastal people and they were used to traders arriving by sea. But as the ships drew closer, it would have become apparent that something was wrong. These weren't traders. These were armed warriors from across the North Sea.
Imagine seeing longships like these, sleek and fast, designed for coastal raids. They were masterpieces of naval engineering, able to cross open seas and sail up rivers with ease. When that first Viking ship landed on this very beach I'm walking on now, the warriors on board didn't know what resistance to expect in this foreign land. What they found was totally unexpected and not the norm for a Viking raider. They had come across a totally unprotected and peaceful Christian monastery with more riches than they can possibly imagine.
The raid was swift and devastating. The Vikings stormed ashore, overwhelming the monks, who had no way of defending themselves. They looted the monastery, tearing apart its treasures, precious chalices, metal-bound manuscripts, and even wooden crosses inlaid with gold and silver.
The Anglo-Saxon chronicles describe how the heathen men destroyed God's church at Lindisfarne with plunder and slaughter. In his letter to King Athelred of Northumbria, the scholar Alcuin wrote,
"Never before has such terror appeared in Britain as we have now suffered from a pagan race."
The Vikings knew exactly what they were doing. They targeted monasteries because they were wealthy, isolated and undefended. Lindisfarne just happened to be the unlucky first victim.
And what made it even worse was its symbolic importance. This wasn't just any monastery, it was the home of St Cuthbert, the most revered saint in Northumbria. The attack felt like a direct blow to the heart of Anglo-Saxon Christianity.
centuries, Lindisfarne had been a symbol of faith and learning. After the raid, it became the symbol of something new, the fear of a rising threat from across the sea. This raid marked the start of what historians now call the Viking Age in Britain, which was an era of relentless raids and battles. Over the next century, countless other monasteries and coastal settlements would face similar fates.
But by the mid-9th century, the situation was dire and the monks were living in constant fear of Viking raids.
In 865 AD, a large coalition of Viking forces invaded England with the intention of conquering rather than just plundering, and the monks decided enough was enough. They packed up their most precious relics, including the Lindisfarne Gospels and the body of St Cuthbert, and they fled.
For years they wandered, looking for a safe place to settle. They finally found it in Durham, where they built a cathedral and laid St Cuthbert to rest. His shrine became one of the most important pilgrimage sites in medieval England.
Fast forward to the 12th century and Lindisfarne was rebuilt. The Normans, who were now ruling England after conquering it in 1066, wanted to re-establish it as a major religious site. So they rebuilt the priory in this rather grand Romanesque style that we see today.
And they brought in Benedictine monks who stayed here for another 4 centuries, but by the 16th century, the tides were turning again.
When Henry VIII broke from the Catholic Church in the 1530s and ordered the dissolution of the monasteries across England, Lindisfarne was shut down. Its monks were sent away and the priory fell into ruin.
Stones were taken to build houses, and the once great priory became the ruin we see today.
In the land of the north, where the wind blows cold, there's the blood of...
Today, Lindisfarne is still a place of pilgrimage. Thousands of people still make the journey across the tidal causeway each year to experience the quiet atmosphere of Holy Island. For centuries, pilgrims have walked this path, and that tradition remains strong today.